Welcome everyone to the Female Bodybuilding channel, and we are joined by JB, and we are joined by a new talent for us over at Female Bodybuilding today, Marilyn Yee. Is that correct pronunciation?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thanks for having me.
So JB showed me some pictures of you from, I think it was the Phoenix, Rising Phoenix in 2020, correct? That was your...
Yeah, that was last year.
That was correct. And you look really good. And
Thank you.
Just heard that you're going to compete at the Arnold in it's 2 weeks now. By the time this video is out, it's going to be 1 week.
It's exactly 2 weeks from now. It's 14 days. Yeah.
So we want to get to know you a little bit before, because you might be the new women's physique pro.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit. How did you fall in love with bodybuilding, and tell us a little bit more about your background?
Sure. So I was anorexic when I was the late of 17, and I wasn't eating for about 8 months, and I was seeing a nutritionist at the time. My organs were failing, my period stopped, and I was weighing less than 90 pounds. And she told me if I wasn't going to eat, and I was going to die.
Whoa.
It was such a, like, I was proud of myself by going this far, starving myself, getting in shape, and she told me I had to go back to eating. I was worried about a rebound. Then I started, I had my first gym membership, I had my very first coach, and that's how I started. Like, I went to self training. It was back in Hong Kong. That's where I'm from. I was born in Hong Kong. I'm half Filipino, Chinese.
How is the bodybuilding community in Hong Kong?
It was politic. I'm blunt, so I'm straightforward. It was politic, and you have to be in a group, and you have to be like a case asked to win, and I'm not that. You have to be coached by a certain people to win.
Okay, really? So when you started training, you said your first coach, you were 18, so you said 17, 18?
Yeah. It was
were you inspired by bodybuilding at all, or did you just do it to get in shape, like to put on muscle?
I just did it to prevent from getting weight, like, because I wasn't eating and I had to start eating again. I was just worried about rebound. I just do it to prevent, like, getting fat.
So talk to us. How was it to start? I remember when we all start, like when you first start lifting weight. How was that experience for you when you first started to seeing? Obviously, you have some good genetics to build the muscle. How was that feel when you first starting seeing? Wow, I'm getting, because when you start as anorectic, you easily can see the muscle because you're so lean. How was that for you?
So how did I get into being anorexia? I was doing cardio every day and I wasn't eating. So I had a great stamina, a build of great stamina. So when I started weight training, I picked up so quick. And, you know, bodybuilding, it's not natural. So I trained 7+ years natural, and I had great stamina, and I was able to lift a lot of weight natural. My coaches were I blew their mind away. Like, how's that possible?
Did you compete in those 7 years, or did you just train in the...
No, I didn't compete until 2018. 2018 was my first show.
Okay, so you trained as a national athlete in Hong Kong, correct? For 7 years?
For 12 years.
For 12 years, okay, wow. So when did you go to America then? When did you first move to America?
In 2020, I lived in Canada, and also I studied in Australia, so I'm all over the place. Okay. So when did you start then to start competing? Back in 2018, that was a show in China, but they had it was international. They have one show in China, in Guangzhou, China. It's called WrestleMania, and the final was in Vegas. So same year, I competed. I think it was June or July, and then the final was in Vegas. That was 5 months later.
Okay. And since you were such a long natural athlete, what made you make the decision? Because you competed you trained that long and natural. Why did you make the decision to take it up a notch?
Because most coaches that I worked with always said that I have potential, but like I've never competed. I just do because I love it, and then I want to give it a try.
So how was the first experience on stage for you then?
I was nervous. I didn't really work on my posing routine, but I still won overall.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Really? And you didn't even work on your routine at all?
No. It was like 10 minutes before I go on stage. That's how much time.
Oh no, we don't like to hear that. We have to practice. We have to entertain the crowd.
I didn't have anyone to teach me posing at first. It was my first show. So and I did figure at first.
You started in figure?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. In 2018, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So when did you start to learn more about bodybuilding then, and the routines and who's different classes, and when did you start watching the Olympia, and like when did this start? Because this is when did this start for you?
When did I start paying attention to bodybuilding? I say 2-3 years ago, and before all that I was just doing my own thing. I didn't really have an idol.
No.
Yeah, I know.
So which athlete's physique did you start that admired you, or did you look up to?
Linda Marilyns.
Why is that?
Legend, because she's not like super thick, but she's like very well conditioned, and she was a runner. That because I wasn't a runner, I wasn't a marathon runner or a track runner or anything, but I was doing a lot of cardio, so I can kind of relate how having a good stamina can help you in any kind of sport. So. Okay,
so you won your figure overall, correct, in the beginning, and then you switched over to physique. What year?
Physique was in 2019. I competed in Vancouver Pro in Vancouver.
So figure and physique is at the amateur level now is very similar physique. For you, what changes did you change your body at all from figure to physique, or was it just different posing, or how was that for you?
I feel like I have the physique. I had a conversation with my coach. My coach is Shelby Stern. He prepped every single one of my show. I started working with him back in 2018. So basically, he prepped every single show I competed. So I had a conversation with him. So I asked him to move up to physique. He said definitely physique. So I gave it a try. I feel like I don't have the physique for figure because I'm pretty thick. Like I'm just thick, and I don't have the narrow waist like some girls do. So.
Okay, so that's why you made the switch to. How is your relationship with Shelby Starnes? Are you tight? Do you feel it's a good relationship? Has he mentored you? Talk to us a little bit about the relationship you have with your coach.
It's great. Like we're working together. This is our 5th year working together. We never Skyped. We
never Skyped.
No.
Never Skyped.
Interesting.
No. Oh wow.
Well, maybe he thinks like I don't really talk in front of cameras. If you look at my Instagram, you don't see me talking from camera. Maybe he thinks that I don't speak English at all.
Why don't you? That's a problem I personally have with a lot of the female athletes. Many of you don't speak on your Instagram. Why is that?
I don't know. I was worried. I mean, not sounds good, because the voice in real life versus you in video sounds different. So that's
in what way?
I don't know. It's like when you hear your own voice on video, or back in the days when you do karaoke, it's like you feel weird hearing your own voice. Like, that's the only reason why I don't talk in front of camera.
I know that. I know that.
You speak perfect English, and it's a better way to connect with your fan base, when you speak to them. Don't you agree, JB?
I should. I really should.
Yeah, you should.
So my relationship with him, it's great. I trust him because I worked with 4 other coaches before I worked with him, and they couldn't bring me the result I wanted. That's why I was never competed until I started working with Shelby. I trust him entirely, and it was in 2020. That was when the pandemic hit and I lost my job. I was a hair technician. That was my full-time job.
Hair
technician.
Okay. What does that mean? Hair technician. What is that?
So I do highlights, perming, even straightening, basically hairstylist.
I'm a very feminine guy, so I use a lot of time on my hair. So that's good to know that that's your profession. Okay.
Yeah, that was my profession. And then I lost my job. I couldn't afford it because I was out of job and I was prepping. I was prepping for, I think it was prepping for Vancouver Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And then he offered to coach me for some time for free because some of his other clients were out of job, were affected by the pandemic as well. So I really appreciate that.
How does he get you into shape? Are you high cardio, low cardio, high food, low food, high carbs, high fat, no fat? How does he prep your body?
For me, I know my body, and my experience working with other coaches was they put me on high carbs diets and sturdy slow cardio that never worked for me.
Okay.
And then when I started working with Shelby, obviously he's very experienced. He's like top leading woman physique bodybuilding coach in the States as well. Like he didn't even question much. He just say, do this. We started off like for 45 minutes of cardio, say 20 weeks out from a show, I'll be doing 60 minutes of cardio. Then we gradually increased, and my carbs was never more than 50 to 100 grams, and it works well for me. Mm-hmm.
So you were never higher than 100 grams. So that's very, very,
that was started when I started working with him.
Okay.
And this year I'm eating the most food ever. It works for me because I have that. Like I'm thick. You imagine I eat a lot. I don't eat a lot of food.
Okay.
It's just me. Like I'm just thick.
Good. And did you get? No, we have a lot of athletes who spoke very highly about Shelby on our show. So were you a little bit upset last year when the media tried to go after him?
I was very upset.
How was that for you? Because when you have when people say things about a coach, we're not taking sides, but as an athlete, you've been kept safe by him for all this time. How was that to see all that when that went down last year?
It cannot comment for another athletes. We did lost a great athlete, first of all, but we didn't know exactly what happened. She had her condition, like I think something related to heart issue as well. That people put the blame on Shelby because of the diuretics. But if she had previous condition that might affect her health, when you're so deep in the prep, you just want to bring your absolute best to the stage. And we didn't know exactly what happened. We can't just pointing finger. I've been working with Shelby. This is our 5th year working together. And there's a reason why he's a leading coach. I mean, he have other client. I believe other coaches as well. Some client passed away because of different reasons. You can't just put blame on him.
No. So it was upsetting for you personally then to see all this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was silenced and he was quiet. He wasn't like posing anything.
I know. You live now in San Diego, correct?
Yes.
So are you working as a hair technician down there or?
No.
So you're living there in San Diego. We don't have to go more into that, but okay. So that means you're able to train full time?
That's right.
With no regular 9 to 4 job anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about what's been the difference for you then as an athlete to finally be able to prep?
It has always been my dream. I mean, I believe there's a lot of other athletes, even footballer, like every athlete wants full sponsorship. And bodybuilding is not in mainstream, it's not in that like Olympic, you know? So it's harder for us to get full sponsorship like this. So it was a dream come true. I didn't have my sponsorship until last year. And I started bodybuilding when I was 18. So I was like back in Hong Kong, I was working 10 hours a day. So 60 hours a week, 6 days a week. I was bodybuilding. I would wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, get to the gym, train, do my cardio, and finish at about 8:30. Then I get to work by 9:30. That was my life.
Wow.
There's something you can do when you are maybe age 18 to 26 or 20, you know what I mean? Like, but you can't, this is not something you can do for a long time and make incredible. Like, if you're at the top of the sport, you need to rest, sleep, train, and sleep and rest, don't you?
But when you have a full-time job, you have to work 10 hours a day and you still want to bodybuild. Like, this is the reality.
Yeah.
You want it, then you go get it.
So in San Diego, are you training? We know what's her Chelsea. Do you know her? Chelsea Dion?
Of course, I know her. She was my roommate. And
she was your roommate?
Yes.
When was this? What year?
That was 4 months ago. And I moved out from my ex-boyfriend condo. And it was like, there were arguments going on. And basically, I was getting kicked out. And she let me stay with her. So.
What did you say? You were living with your ex-boyfriend and you
in Boston
you left for whatever reasons and you moved in with Chelsea is what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. How is Chelsea as a roommate? How was she?
She was great. We did have a little bit of arguments sometimes because we are both prepping, and when it comes to house chore, like we had our argument, but she was great.
Two women with, as we say, on full of supplements in one house. This is the road to disaster, correct?
Yeah, it can be sometimes.
Yes, it is.
She's cool, but if it wasn't her, like I wouldn't know where to stay because I only have 2 weeks to move out from Boston. It was a long distance move.
Talk to us quickly. Are you proud of her evolution in her physique?
Very proud, very proud. She never told me where she was from, her struggle, and I was so happy for her.
So on to you now. Now we are 2 weeks out of the Arnold Classic amateur event. And how are you feeling? How are you looking? And what's the mindset?
Just like every other prep, I'll bring my absolute best to the stage. That's what I can control. I don't know who's going to show up. I'm not nervous or anything. I'm just like living one day at a time. And every single day, I'm giving every single ounce of strength I have. As I feel.
But how are you condition-wise, size-wise, mentally-wise compared to the last prep? Have you made any improvements? How is the conditioning?
I feel like I'm at my best conditioning. But I can be coming in more crisp. I had my carbs up like 2 days ago, maybe a little watery in my last like 4 days ago because I was more lean 4 days ago. But it'll go away. It'll get better.
Have you practiced a routine this time?
Yes.
Hey.
I practice both women bodybuilding and physique. Both.
Oh, you're doing women's bodybuilding and physique?
I wanted to do women bodybuilding, but I know they only have women's physique, so.
Yeah, this is a big tragedy going on. There's not much women's bodybuilding pro qualifiers anymore for whatever reason. So if you don't win this, what's the next? Have you set a plan for what you're going to do this year?
I always have plan B. Good question. The next one is going to be July 22nd, Chicago Pro Miss International Women Bodybuilding.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah.
That'd be.
And are you able to fly out of America and coming back in, or?
No, at the moment, no. I need to file a petition.
Okay, because there's many but that's not many. But there are pro women's bodybuilding qualifiers in Europe as well. But if you can't fly, you can't fly.
The closest one is on July, Vancouver Pro. If I can fly. Yeah.
Well, so this is all in first for this Arnold then, correct?
That's right.
Does it give you a little bit more? First of all, is Arnold Schwarzenegger someone you even used to watch growing up on movies, or
of course I did. He's the legend, of course.
Is it a little bit extra cool that the name is Arnold Classic? Like, does it bring a little bit more prestige to it, or?
It definitely is, because I've never competed in Arnold, and it's different. It's one of the biggest pro qualifier show that I'll be doing. I'm excited.
JB, do you have any questions for Marilyn?
Can you tell us a little bit, how was it to come over to, at first, what was the reason to come over from Hong Kong to the US? What was the reason?
When I lost my job because of pandemic, I started Her Biceps webcam. And then I started building up a fan base, and they're mostly from the States. And I was getting sponsored by other people at the time, and they were all from the States. So then I thought, all the competition, most shows in the States as well. And I never competed in Hong Kong because of obvious reasons, their politics, and you have to be in a certain group to win. Then I thought, why don't I just come here, just get myself? I got myself an athlete visa and came to the state.
Just because, you said take the chance, all in, you do yes, and take the chance. Okay, great.
I make things happen.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, and now you're here.
Yep.
Great.
She's
great.
going. This is exciting. So you have which web pages or can people contact? You have Her Bicep, correct? And
Her Biceps. Her Biceps. My name on it. It's called the Tiny Tank. It's my
the Tiny Tank.
Tank.
Anything else? Your own web page? Do you have any?
Session Girl. Tank.
People will find it. You'll put the link in there, JB, won't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, Marilyn, we're excited. I think the show is going to be streamed. They're going to have a stream from the amateur event.
Yeah.
I think so.
So people, this interview will be out probably like a week before. So check out the stream if you want to watch Marilyn perform. This is going to be a good build-up. You know, you're coming into the Arnold with your own show and your own thumbnail. This is going to be good, Marilyn, because we're the most watched channel in women's bodybuilding and physique. So you're going to have thousands of people watch this interview. So you got to go all in. There's no... It's gonna give you.
I'm always all in, no matter what.
our last, before you show us the package a little bit, our last amateurs we had on was Chelsea. She won her pro card, and it was Alexis. What's her last name?
I know them both. Actually, so they're both great athletes.
So this means you have you're the third one. This means you gotta win the pro card. You can't break
I gotta win. I'm not here just getting second place or third place anymore.
There you go.
First place.
Okay, you are in great shape. We hope and condition. Can we see some of the package now? 2 weeks out. Can we see how you're looking?
Of course.
That's great.
So, guys, we are 2 weeks out from hopefully. A pro. Okay, we see JB. She got to go a little bit. Yeah, so we can get the full. We see the abs.
We can see the abs. Yeah. Oh,
the abs are definitely in, JB.
Yeah, definitely. Very good. Ooh, yeah. Definitely.
Can we see the back?
I need to.
Oh, it works. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Wow, it's great, eh?
Very clean and nice.
Yeah. That's good. Awesome.
So, guys.
Thank you.
We're going to put all the links in here to follow Marilyn.
Yeah.
And thank you for getting to know you a little bit better. It's exciting when new girls, and especially athletes that risk it all and not risk it all, but follow their dreams. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people,
all in.
a lot of people live life in regret that they didn't try, and you're trying right now, correct?
Mm-hmm. I'm living my dream.
Yeah. Say something to the fans before we say goodbye.
Every man dies, not every man really lives. Go after your dream.
That's great.
And JB?
It's my favorite quote.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. Awesome.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And JB, we are
out.